What's up, YouTube? KTV here, back with another video. And today, you guys are probably wondering, why are you on Fortnite? You said that you were never going to do Fortnite videos again because of YouTube's new policy. Well, I just figured out that if you make this video, like, not for, kids at all, like, if you cuss a whole bunch in this video, then it won't be for kids, so that's what I'm going to do. Fuck you, you stupid cunt. There we go. This video is not for kids. So you guys, this video is going to be a story time, and yes, I am doing a new story time, and because I love this series, I'm going to be doing a new story time video today, and lucky for you guys, it is on Christmas Eve, and if you guys are like, why are you in an elf suit? Well, one, because it's Christmas season, and it's Christmas Eve, and also this is a main story about an elf on a shelf. Now, back in the state of Maryland, where I am originally from, this is where our story begins, so let's get right into it. So I bought my first ever elf on the shelf when I don't know how old I was, but let's just say I was really little, to the age to where I still believed in Santa Claus. So I got the elf on the shelf at a mall with my grandma, and when we got it, I read the book, because I had no idea what the elf on the shelf was, and I read it, and the main thing that caught my attention is that it will move when you're asleep, go to the North Pole, report your actions to Santa, then it will come back and it will be in a different spot than before, and you have to try to find out where it's at when you wake up in the morning, so it gives you something to look forward to in the morning. Well then, the part that got me really mad is that you're not allowed to touch the elf on the shelf, because if you do, it's dead, and you are on the naughty list for good. So I was like, really? You're gonna put like a little plush toy out here that I think is a real thing, and you're not even gonna let me touch it? Like, what is wrong with you? So I'm really mad about this, but I was like, you know what? I gotta obey Santa's rules, and I gotta make him proud so I can be on the nice list this year. So, this is what happened. This one particular day, I wake up and he's on top of the refrigerator. So I'm like, oh, no big deal. He's on top of the refrigerator. How you doing, little buddy? How you doing? But then I realized that when he was on top of the refrigerator, he was like halfway on the very, very top and halfway on the freezer part. So if I open the freezer door, the elf on the shelf is going to fall off and it's going to hit the ground. So I'm like, what do I do at this point? So, oh yeah, and by the way, this is going to be important in the story. My elf on the shelf's name is Fred. Okay, just keep that in mind. It's going to be important in the story. So Fred was on top of the fridge, and I was hungry. I just woke up. I wanted breakfast. My parents were at work. I was being babysitted by my grandma. So I was like, oh no, I'm hungry. What do I do? So then, what happened is that a couple hours went by, didn't eat anything. Waiting for my parents to get home so they could deal with it. And I'm like, you need to call Santa right now, because I don't want to touch my elf on the shelf. But then the hunger got to me so bad that I started opening the freezer just slowly, just a little bit slow, okay? And then Fred, like, I could have sworn that, like, I heard a whisper saying, like, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. And I'm like, oh God, I can't do this. I can't open the freezer and have my elf on the shelf fall on the ground. Well then, we had a cat at the time, and this cat's name was Mimi. And then Mimi was in the kitchen, she was eating her food, she was eating in front of me, and I got mad. I was like, wow, you get to eat, but I can't. Rude. So Mimi is in the kitchen with me. And then I'm like, Fred, this is my kitty cat, Mimi. And then Mimi gives me the devil eyes. Like, she's like, I hate this thing, I want it out, or I'm gonna tear it apart. So then I was like, the hunger's getting to me, I can't anymore. So I open it very slowly, and for a second, once I get the freezer open, you guys, like, you wouldn't believe me if I tell you, but the elf on the shelf totally hit the fucking ground. At this point, I am freaking out. I'm like, oh my gosh, it died from fall damage. 100 fall damage. And I'm just like, oh no, Fred, it's gonna be okay. Like, I'm trying to give it CPR, but I can't because I can't touch it. And I'm like, Mimi, do something! I cannot believe the cat reacted to me, but Mimi walks up to it. And you wouldn't believe me if I told you. But Mimi totally didn't give it CPR. She starts ripping the damn thing apart. And I'm like, Mimi, stop it! You're killing him! And then at this point, there's stuffing all over the ground. There's beads all over the ground. And I am crying. I am in tears. I am on the floor bawling my eyes out. So then I'm like, what do I do now? Fred is dead. And that's when I waited. My parents got home and I told them what happened. I said, Mimi tore apart the elf on the shelf. and then they looked at me and they were like, son, we're so sorry. You want to go get another one? I'm like, you know what? No. Because then Mimi's just going to be mean and tear it up again. Well, Fred should have known not to go on the freezer. That's Fred's fault.
And you wouldn't believe me if I told you.
No. So that night I was asleep. Then I wake up to get a glass of water. And this is a true story, by the way. You guys need to believe this story because it's actually true. And I haven't told anyone the story. Most of the stories that are on this channel, like for story time, I haven't told anyone before. So then I wake up in the middle of the night and I go to get a glass of water. And I turn around and I look at the TV and you wouldn't believe me if I told you, but Fred was sitting there staring at me. And I was like, Fred! I run up to it and there's a note by Fred. And it says, your kitty cat is on the naughty list. But I am back. I am back. I am back and Santa has repaired me. So I'm like, yay! Fred's alive! Yay! But I realized later that my parents just bought a new freaking elf on the shelf and just named it Fred again. So the story doesn't end there though. You guys are like, wait, no. This has to be where the story ends, right? You are wrong. The story does not end here. This is where the story actually ends. Christmas Day, I look at my stocking. After I'm done opening my presents, usually I would open my stocking first, but actually I opened my presents before my stocking. Looked at my stocking, there was another elf on the shelf.
And you wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Not yet. And then I saw it and I was like, a new elf on the shelf? What's its name? It's a girl. And it said, hey Chris, my name is Penny. And I am here to be Fred's girlfriend. And I said, that's what the note said. And I looked at my mom and dad, and I said, I was like, it's a girl? And this is a true story, by the way, guys. I said, it's a girl? Because when you're young, you're like, ew, girls, cooties. So I'm like, it's a girl? And they said, yes, Chris, it is a girl. And I'm like, really? And you wouldn't believe me if I told you. You would not believe me if I told you. But somehow, some way, I have no idea, the next morning I woke up and Penny was ripped all over the floor by Mimi. My parents were devastated. They said, not this fucking cat again. But then I fessed up to my parents that while they were asleep, I freaking threw Penny and I just had Penny ripped up by the cat. Because, ew, it's a girl? So that's my story about how my cat killed my elf on the shelf. So if you guys want to hear another story like that, then yeah.
And if you wouldn't believe me if I told you.
No, but here's the thing.
But this story is fake.
No,
I'm just kidding.
It's not fake. He has no. But here's the thing, though. You wouldn't believe me if I told you. But you guys are going to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already.
No, you won't.
Peace.